He was only 26 years old when he made the final, desperate phone call of his life. And while the world's eyes are glued to the war on the horizon, a much darker battle is being fought right now, entirely behind closed doors.
Just imagine the chilling reality of this for a second. According to rights groups who shared his audio, this young man had been locked up for 3 years, accused of having ties to Mossad. Through his tears, he broke the devastating news to his family on that call. His death sentence had just been approved by the Iranian Supreme Court. Rights groups stressed there were no proper legal proceedings here, no access to a real lawyer, just a political death sentence handed down in the dark.
And what's truly horrifying about this is the sheer unpredictability of his fate. You see, when his sentence was first handed down, the Supreme Court actually revoked it. Then it was revoked a second time, giving him just this tiny sliver of hope. But on the third attempt, they showed no mercy. His execution was finalized. And the terrifying truth, he is far from the only one.
The United Nations has just issued a chilling warning. Iran is in the middle of a massive, sweeping crackdown. At least 21 confirmed prisoners have been executed in this sudden, brutal surge. These are individuals accused of either being foreign agents or being involved in protests. Executions and mass arrests are happening every single day, all while the world is distracted by the deafening sounds of global conflict.
The timing of this is absolutely critical. This current war broke out just 50 days after mass, nationwide protests inside Iran. During those protests, thousands of Iranians were killed by security agents in literally just the span of 2 nights. 2 nights of unimaginable violence. Rights groups note that whenever the Iranian regime feels its existence is threatened, they ramp up these executions as a tool of intimidation. The outbreak of a foreign war provided the absolute perfect cover for a massive surge in domestic arrests.
And to execute this crackdown, the regime has pulled a heavy digital curtain over the entire nation. We're talking about a 2-month blackout. Millions of people left in total oppressive silence. Iranians can barely connect to the internet right now, which completely cuts them off from the outside world and honestly, from each other. It creates this environment of profound isolation, making it almost impossible for the truth to escape the shadows.
And in those shadows, the Revolutionary Guard is tightening its grip. They're deploying this dark psychology of control against their own people. Step 1, if citizens film targeted sites and try to send that footage to outside news channels, the police immediately raid their homes. Step 2, they arrest these young men and women and literally broadcast their forced confessions on national television to terrify anyone else from doing the same. Step 3, in a completely unprecedented move, every single night, supporters are sent out to the streets to echo pro-regime chants, Allahu Akbar, through the dark. It's a calculated psychological tactic designed to intimidate a starving, desperate population, paralyzing them so they're too afraid to even move.
But here is the most terrifying truth. While the world's focus is totally fixated on a looming global war, Iran's hidden reality is this relentless wave of mass detentions, forced confessions, and executions. The foreign war is being used as a smokescreen. The UN human rights chief stated he is completely appalled that the rights of the Iranian people are being stripped from them in such harsh and brutal ways, hiding right out in the open behind the chaos of international conflict.
Rights groups confirm that these executions are not just punishments for alleged crimes. They are being used as a deliberate signal to the public. The regime is sending a crystal clear message. If you revolt, if you contact the outside world, if you have anything to do with protests, you will be killed. They aren't just punishing individuals anymore. They are trying to execute the very idea of dissent, anything to prevent another uprising. So why are they going to such extreme violent lengths? Because for the Iranian government, this is an existential fight for survival. Before the war, foreign leaders like Donald Trump specifically warned Iran not to kill protesters. But once the conflict escalated, leaders outside Iran, including Benjamin Netanyahu and Trump, openly stated that the ultimate aim of the conflict was regime change. The Iranian government is acutely aware of the massive discontent boiling inside its borders. They know another round of protests would be absolutely disastrous while they fight foreign powers. So they view this ruthless internal suppression as absolutely necessary to survive.
The aftermath of this strategy, though, is just devastating. This isn't just about politics anymore, it's about simple human survival. The combination of the war and that digital blackout has been economically catastrophic. So many Iranians relied heavily on the internet for their online shops and their livelihoods. With the connection severed and massive layoffs sweeping the country, the financial ruin is absolute. Families are literally being forced to sell their most treasured personal items just to make ends meet. They're selling their gold wedding jewelry, their hand-woven carpets, their household rugs. just to buy bread, the sentiment inside the country has shifted from a hope for change to utter desperation.
And that desperation stems from a terrifying internal power shift. Some citizens initially thought the foreign attacks might actually topple the regime. But instead, it has hardened it. There's always been this rift in the system between pragmatists like Parliament Speaker Kolobuff and hardliners. But right now, the hardliners, the ones representing uncompromising control, have completely taken the upper hand. The Revolutionary Guards are dominating. Instead of the regime weakening, it has become infinitely more entrenched, leaving an entire nation trapped between the threat of a foreign war and the terror of their own government.
To understand exactly who the people are trapped under, we have to look at the figurehead calling the shots right now, Commander Ahmet Vahidi. He is the hardline leader of the Revolutionary Guard. This is a man who was the first head of the Quds Force, the branch that operates in foreign countries. And, crucially, he currently holds an active Interpol arrest warrant for his alleged involvement in the 1994 bombing of a Jewish cultural center in Argentina. That is the ruthless history of the man directing the domestic crackdown and managing the fight against foreign powers, which proves exactly why the UN's condemnations and warnings are highly unlikely to change their deadly course.
The world's gaze is fixed on the horizon, watching the missiles, the diplomats, the military movements. But the true tragedy, the executions, the blackouts, the forced confessions, that is happening entirely in the dark. As the world watches the war outside, who is going to watch the war inside? Follow for more hidden stories the world isn't telling you.